Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about for loops. So there are different types of loops that we can go over a certain data type, and for example lists, strings, etc. Iterate over them. However, today we are focusing on for loops specifically. But in this section, we are going to discuss different for loops as well. So, for example, imagine that we would like to print a few numbers and it would be very hard to do it easily. Like, for example, I could say see out number one and del. So I want to write, like, imagine that I would like to print number 1 to 5. So I need to do it 5 times. So I modify this. I put 5 here, I put 4 here. So now I need to print this one. So let's compile and see. So yeah, here you see when I want to print 5 numbers, I need to write it down 5 times. Okay, but for 5 times it may be still okay. But what if it's 500 times? It would be very hard to, track the changes, to modify everything, and at least copy paste it. Even copy pasting it for 500 times, it's not easy job. So there are other ways to do it, and in programming, you something that can give us the best and most efficient way of coding. So in order to do that, we need to use loops generally, and today I'm going to tell you how to use for loops to do that. So imagine from number 0 to number 4. To do that, we come up with a for function. We have parentheses within which there are three main components in this parenthesis. So in the first component, we initialize integer as to be whatever the initial number of the loop would like to be. So here in our case, we integer named I that starts from 0. Then we have semicolon separating the first part from the second. We have this I until it reads like this I until it is smaller than 5, not smaller equal than 5, only smaller than 5. Then semicolon saying I plus plus, and I plus plus means that the increment value of I. I'm going to discuss this in a few seconds. So for these are the three components of a for loop in parentheses, and then we start the loop actually as of here. So as of here, we start going through the loop saying that see out I, we print I, so we understand the value of I. It's a printing in the terminal, so it makes more, it increases the readability of the code, and then we print the actual value of the I. But how does it work? Let's see. So first we start from I equals 0. When we start from I equals 0, we enter this loop, we mention I semicolon, then we print the value 0. Then after that, we increase one time the value I. So initially we entered the loop with the I equals 0. We printed the value 0 using this line. And when everything is finished here, it goes back again into this, but because we have incremental value of I is now equal 1, and then with the value 1 it again enters this loop and prints 1 for us here. It iterates until it reaches to this condition. So until it is smaller than 5. So it iterates until it is 4. When it's 4, it breaks and we exit the loop. So let's try and see how it works. So now we're compiling. Okay. So here, as you see, it starts with the value 0. It prints I semicolon 1 space 0. Then it goes up again and enters the loop with value 1. It prints I semicolon, I colon space 1, and then it is incremented again, and it does this iteratively until I reaches 4. When I reaches 4, it enters one more time to the loop saying that cout I colon space print 4, and then when it incremented to the value of 5, it does not satisfy the second part of our for loop, so it does not enter again and it finishes the loop. So this is how we can print something like 5 times. Even if we want, we can say like instead of 5 we can put like 20. So whatever the number that we would like, we just put it here and it will just go for it. Let's see. Yeah. So here it starts from 0 to 19. And if we want to print number 20 as well, we can say smaller equal 20. And instead we could say, for example, let's start from 1 this time. So let's see. Okay, great. So we started from 1 and we're printing until 20. So generally, this is one of the most efficient way of printing iteratively instead of just printing everything manually. And in next lectures, we're going to solve some exercises and do some coding exercises to understand it better. So generally, the important thing is that we write the for, we have parentheses within which 3 parts needs to be filled, and then we enter the loop.